What if the reason you feel tired, stressed, or restless after 60 isn't age, it's your stuff? Every dusty box in the attic, every outdated gadget in the drawer, every chair no one touches might be silently stealing your peace. But here's the twist. The path to freedom isn't about adding more, it's about letting go. In this video, I'll reveal 10 surprising things you must declutter before 60. And when you hear number 7, it will flip the way you see your home forever. Stay with me until the end, because what you uncover could transform not just your house, but your life. Number 1. Decluttering is a way to create space for the present and the future, not about discarding the past. Excess clutter increases stress, impairs focus, and quietly steals quality of life, especially as people age. According to research from UCLA's Center on Everyday Lives of Families, visual and physical clutter is directly associated with elevated cortisol levels, the stress hormone. For older adults, this increase in stress can lead to poor sleep, reduced concentration, and an even higher risk of falls or injuries in crowded environments. Aging brings new rhythms, priorities, and physical needs. Yet many homes remain filled with the objects of a life that no longer reflects how daily living happens. Closets packed with clothing from decades ago, stacks of forgotten books, unused gifts from relatives long past, and drawers filled with expired coupons or disconnected chargers quietly weigh down the spirit. The resistance to let go is rarely about utility, it's about identity. A coat might remind someone of their years of service. A gift might connect to a person no longer here. However, when those items remain untouched for years, they are no longer tools for connection. They become barriers to living fully today. Memory does not need a physical object to stay alive. The heart can remember without the burden of dust and disuse. Decluttering is not a rejection of the past, it's a way to move forward. It is an affirmation of the present. A simplified space helps the body move more safely and allows the mind to think more clearly. It reduces decision fatigue, strengthens emotional well-being, and creates room for peace, purpose, and rest. The act of letting go can become a powerful declaration. My life today matters. To begin, choose one room. Start with 5 items, things not used, not loved, or no longer needed. Hold each one and ask, does this support the life I live now? If the answer is no, thank it for its place in your journey and let it go. Donate what may serve someone else. Recycle or dispose of items that are no longer in use responsibly. Then notice the space you've made, not just in the room, but in your thoughts. Repeat weekly. Bit by bit, a lighter, more intentional life will emerge. Number 2. Transform storage-filled corners into meaningful, peaceful living spaces. Imagine walking into a room where every surface is covered with a layer of dust, boxes stacked high, a chair hidden beneath a pile of papers. The window was blocked by old furniture no longer in use. The light feels dimmer, the air heavier. Now imagine that same room cleared. Light flows in. There's space to breathe, a chair to sit, perhaps a book waiting by the window. Your shoulders drop. Your mind slows. That's the quiet power of space reclaimed. According to Dr. Sherry Borg-Carter, a renowned psychologist specializing in stress and environment, clutter bombards the mind with excessive stimuli, causing our senses to work overtime. She writes, clutter can create feelings of guilt and embarrassment, prevent clear thinking, and even contribute to a sense of hopelessness. Meanwhile, a study by Dr. Catherine Roster at the University of New Mexico shows that clutter can trigger avoidance behaviors, causing people to withdraw from activities they once enjoyed. In contrast, organized, open environments have been proven to foster peace, improve focus, and even encourage more consistent physical activity, especially among seniors who spend more time indoors. The psychological message is simple but powerful. When the space is clear, the mind is freer to rest, move, and grow. Yet, in many homes, corners become silent storage zones, areas we avoid but feel vaguely anxious about. A folding table covered in papers, exercise equipment never used, or boxes we haven't opened in years. These corners do not serve, they slowly take away. Here lies a chance for transformation. Clearing one small area is not just a physical act, it is also symbolic. It says, this room still belongs to a living life. Replace the unused with something purposeful, a small lamp, a plant, a photo of a loved one. Turn the corner into a meditation chair, a prayer space, or a quiet place for reflection. Begin with one corner. Remove what hasn't served your life in a year. Be decisive, gentle, and grateful. Redesign with intent. You're not just creating a cleaner room, you're making a lighter mind and a home that breathes with you, not against you. Number 3. Keep only what truly speaks to the heart, and let the rest find a new life. Mary was 72 when she decided to open the attic. What began as a simple afternoon task with her granddaughter soon became something more tender. Box after box revealed the layers of a life well lived. Holiday cards from the early 80s, porcelain angels collected but forgotten, linens yellowed with time. Her granddaughter held up an embroidered tablecloth and asked, "Grandma, do you still use this?" Mary smiled wistfully. "I haven't seen that in years." That moment, gentle, simple, carried the weight of truth. If she hadn't needed it in decades, why was she still keeping it? So many older adults find themselves surrounded by things once treasured, now untouched. Not because the memories are gone, but because the meaning has shifted. Objects carry emotion, yes, but emotion does not require clutter. What's most meaningful often becomes clearer when the excess is gently cleared away. Dr. Randy Frost, a leading psychologist in the field of hoarding behavior, reminds us that people often attach their identity to their belongings. But as he wisely says, letting go of possessions does not mean letting go of who we are. Quite the opposite. It means choosing what best represents the self we are now, not the one we once were. To keep everything is to dilute the sacred. But when items are chosen intentionally, when we pause and ask, does this still speak to my life today? What remains gains weight, beauty, and dignity, and what we release can begin again elsewhere, bringing joy and comfort to someone who truly needs it. The act of donation is not giving away, it is passing forward. That quilt can warm a child. That vase can brighten a widow's home. That set of dishes can serve meals for a family just starting. Begin with one shelf or drawer. Touch each item. Listen to your heart, not your guilt. What still carries life, keep close. What no longer does, set free. With gratitude. In doing so, your home becomes lighter, your story clearer, and your days more peaceful. Not because you lost something, but because you finally made space for what matters most. Number 4. Clear out expired food and unused kitchen tools to reduce stress and increase safety. According to Dr. Eva Selhub of Harvard Medical School, a clean and organized kitchen does more than look nice. It directly supports mental clarity and emotional well-being. Research confirms that cluttered environments, particularly in routine spaces like the kitchen, are associated with higher cortisol levels, reduced focus, and a decline in healthy habits. For seniors, these effects are even more pronounced. From a physical health perspective, the risks are tangible. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention warn that expired food products, especially canned goods and old condiments, can cause foodborne illnesses, which are more likely to affect older immune systems. A crowded kitchen also creates fall hazards, obstructs safe movement, and makes meal preparation more challenging and stressful. But a clean kitchen does the opposite. It empowers. When drawers open smoothly and only hold what's truly useful, cooking becomes joyful again. A tidy pantry invites better choices. A safe, accessible space increases independence and preserves dignity. Now picture this. Eleanor, at the age of 74, had always loved to cook, but over the years, her kitchen grew crowded. Appliances she hadn't used since the 90s, stacks of unused pots, shelves filled with spices long past their expiration date. She didn't notice the slow buildup until she found herself dreading mealtime. One day, with the help of a friend, she cleared out 3 cabinets. The change was immediate. She felt lighter, more in control, more at home in her own home. To begin, choose one section of your kitchen. Start with the pantry shelves, check the dates, smell the spices, and discard anything expired or stale. Then move to drawers and cabinets. If you haven't used an item in a year, ask yourself, is it truly needed? Donate what's in good condition, recycle what you can, and discard the rest. What remains should serve you, not the other way around. A clean kitchen isn't about being perfect. It's about creating a space where meals are made with ease, routines feel smooth, and life flows more peacefully. At this stage in life, nourishment should begin with how you feel in the place where you nourish your body and soul. Number 5, remove outdated electronics and use the opportunity to connect with younger generations. That drawer is full of tangled cords, the dusty VCR in the corner, the flip phone with no charger, the old laptop that hasn't turned on in years. These items are easy to ignore, until one day they become symbols of disconnection, not just from technology, but from the world around. Outdated electronics clutter more than shelves. They clutter the mind. According to Dr. David E. Meyer, professor of psychology at the University of Michigan, visual and cognitive overload, especially from outdated or unused technology, can reduce memory performance and increase mental fatigue in older adults. When things pile up, so does hesitation. The fear of pressing the wrong button becomes a reason not to try at all. But there's power in letting go. Removing what no longer serves opens up space, not just physically, but emotionally, and it creates the perfect doorway for something even more valuable: conversation across generations. Invite a grandchild or neighbor over. Pull out the box of old tech and say, "Can you help me go through this?" Boshi. Watch their eyes light up as they explain the difference between HDMI and USB-C. Let them teach you. Let them see you willing to learn. That exchange becomes more than decluttering. It becomes legacy in motion. To begin, gather every unused electronic device in one place. Ask, when was the last time this worked? Does it still serve my life today? If not, set it aside. Many local stores, libraries, and recycling programs offer safe disposal of electronics. Keep only what works, what you understand, and what brings daily value. Label cords. Store what's helpful in one accessible spot. Let the rest go. This isn't just cleaning, it's reclaiming simplicity. It's choosing connection over confusion, and it's sending a quiet but powerful message. Growth doesn't end with age. It expands, especially when shared. Because in a home where the technology makes sense, life feels easier. And in a heart open to learning, the years ahead feel richer. Number 6. Release sentimental clutter and keep only what truly brings peace. Helen, 78, sat in her guest room surrounded by 3 large boxes she hadn't opened in over a decade. Inside were childhood drawings from her grown children, trinkets from trips she barely remembered, and stacks of greeting cards tied in fading ribbon. She picked up a birthday card from 1984. Sweet, yes, but from a coworker she hadn't spoken to in 30 years. She smiled, then sighed. Why am I still keeping this? This is the quiet question so many face in later life. Not because we lack love, but because we've accumulated more reminders than we know what to do with. Every item carries a whisper of a moment once lived. But when those whispers turn into noise, They stop comforting and start cluttering. Sentimental clutter is often the hardest to face because it touches the heart. But clinical studies, including those led by Dr. Susan Lehman at Johns Hopkins, have shown that emotional clutter tied to unresolved grief or guilt can subtly increase depression, anxiety, and cognitive strain in older adults. What was once meaningful can become a source of emotional fatigue if held on to without clarity. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing intentionally. Which memories truly nourish the soul? Which ones are simply occupying space? There's a quiet strength in being selective. A wedding photo in a beautiful frame. A letter from your mother. One keepsake from your child's early years. These hold meaning because they stand alone, unburdened, visible, and honored. The rest? Thank them. Photograph them if you'd like. Then, release them. Begin with one box. Hold each item. Ask, does this still bring me peace? If yes, keep it with love. If not, pass it on with grace. Consider donating to a school or a shelter or even creating a memory collage to preserve highlights without clutter. A peaceful home isn't empty. It's intentional. And when every item has a story that still stirs joy, your space becomes not just tidier, but more sacred. Letting go of excess is not about loss. It's about honoring what remains and allowing the heart to breathe again. Number 7. Free yourself from guilt over keeping things out of obligation or fear of waste. Walk through your home and pause at one object you've kept only because you should. Maybe it's a fancy teapot from a cousin's wedding, a scarf that never suited you, or a kitchen gadget still in the box. You don't love it. You don't use it. But you've kept it for years because you felt guilty letting it go. This quiet guilt is one of the most common emotional weights carried by older adults. It whispers, "Don't waste." That was a gift. Someone spent money on that. And so the item stays. Not because it belongs, but because we feel we owe it something. But here's the truth. Your home is not a museum of obligation. It's a living space. And you don't owe any object more space than it's earned. Dr. Brené Brown, who has spent decades researching shame and self-worth, teaches that guilt, when left unexamined, becomes emotional clutter. It doesn't honor the giver. It dishonors the receiver. A gift is a gesture, not a contract. Its meaning lived in the moment it was given. Keeping something you don't need doesn't strengthen the bond. It burdens it. And holding on to just-in-case items often reflects fear, not readiness. Releasing these objects can be liberating. It's not wasteful. It's wise. It means trusting that the love behind a gift is not diminished by letting the object go. It means believing that your space and your peace matters just as much as anyone's intention. To begin, choose 3 items you've kept out of guilt. Place them on a table. Look at them honestly. Do they serve your life now? Do they reflect the person you are today? If not, offer them a quiet thank you and let them go. Donate with kindness, part with compassion. In doing so, you free your home from emotional weight. And more importantly, you free yourself. Because in this chapter of life, everything you keep should lift you, not hold you back. Number 8. A lighter home helps you sleep deeper, breathe easier, and think more clearly. There is something unspoken that happens when a room is transparent, quiet, and open. You breathe differently, not just with your lungs, but with your whole being. For many older adults, clutter isn't dramatic. It doesn't spill into hallways or cover the floor. It hides in drawers that no longer close, in shelves that strain with forgotten objects, in spaces that used to feel restful, but now somehow feel heavy. And that heaviness doesn't stay in the room. It permeates the body, the joints, the sleep, and the mind. Multiple studies from UCLA's Center for the Everyday Lives of Families have confirmed what many people already suspect. Cluttered homes can elevate stress levels and disrupt sleep. The more stuff in view, the more the brain must work to process surroundings, leaving less energy for memory, decision-making, and peace. And as we age, this impact multiplies. What once felt like just a bit crowded becomes a barrier to rest and clarity. But here's the good news. Every drawer you organize, every shelf you simplify, every item you release, it all adds up not just to a cleaner home, but to a clearer mind. Think of your home as an extension of your inner world. When the outer space calms, the inner space follows. Sleep becomes deeper, breathing slows. Even the way you move through the day shifts, more gently, more intentionally, more freely. To begin, choose one surface you see daily, such as a nightstand, a kitchen counter, or a coffee table. Clear it completely. Keep only what soothes you or serves you. A lamp, a photo, a book you love. Then, pause. Notice how the room feels, how you think. This isn't about perfection. It's about aligning your environment with your well-being. A lighter home is not just easier to clean, it's also more comfortable. It's easier to live in. And at this stage in life, ease is not luxury, it's medicine. Your peace of mind is worth more than anything gathering dust. Let space back in. Let's breathe back in. Let you back in. Number 9. A home should nurture peace and joy, not be a warehouse of forgotten memories. A home is not meant to store everything we've ever owned. It's meant to hold what continues to give us life. Too often, with the passing years, rooms begin to transform, not into sanctuaries, but into silent storage units. Closets become time capsules. Spare bedrooms become holding spaces for things we no longer use, or worse, no longer recognize. These aren't just piles of belongings. They're stalled decisions. And slowly, they shift the energy of a home from restful to restless. But a house is not a museum of the past. It should be a refuge for the present, a place where you feel safe, warm, and free to breathe. According to architect and designer Sarah Suzanka, author of The Not-So-Big House, the most nurturing homes aren't the largest or the most decorated. They are the ones where every corner reflects purpose, comfort, and intentionality. Her work demonstrates that when homes are arranged around what truly supports life, well-being rises. Ask yourself, when I walk into my home, do I feel comforted or crowded? Do I have places to sit, rest, reflect, and connect? Or has my space been taken over by objects I no longer even see? It's not about having less for the sake of minimalism. It's about creating a space that feeds your current spirit. A clear hallway to walk safely. A living room with only chairs that are used and loved. A bedroom where the nightstand holds a lamp, a glass of water, and a book you can't wait to read. Start small. Reclaim one room. Remove anything that doesn't serve the life you're living now. Keep what uplifts you. Let the rest go, with appreciation, not shame. When a home is thoughtfully tended, it becomes a source of healing rather than an obligation. A place where memories live in your heart, not in every corner of the floor. Because at this stage of life, your space should rise to meet you, not pull you back into a version of life you've already outgrown. Number 10. Decluttering is not just a task. It's a journey toward a lighter, more meaningful life. At age 75, Walter found himself surrounded by a garage full of things he hadn't touched in years. Paint cans from old projects, golf clubs he no longer used, and boxes of papers he meant to sort someday. One afternoon, he opened the door, stared at the chaos, and said quietly, "This isn't who I am anymore." So, he began. one box at a time. He didn't rush. He didn't force. He simply asked himself, "Do I still need this?" And with each item he let go, something unexpected happened. The weight he felt wasn't just in his hands, it was lifting off his mind. Decluttering at this stage in life isn't about tidying up. It's about realignment. It's a slow, gentle act of making peace with what no longer serves and choosing with intention what deserves to remain. Psychologists specializing in aging, including Dr. Catherine Ayers from UC San Diego, have found that simplified environments reduce cognitive overload, improve focus, and increase emotional resilience in older adults. In other words, clearing space outside helps clear space inside. But more than science, this is about rediscovering what matters. When the noise of too much is removed, what's left begins to shine. A chair that genuinely fits your back, a photo that stirs joy, a shelf that holds only books you still love. Clarity returns. Peace takes root. Start simply. Choose a small space, such as a drawer, a table, or a shelf. Touch each item. Ask, "Does this reflect the life I'm living now?" If it doesn't, thank it and let it go. Donate it to someone who will put it to good use. Recycle what you can. Like Walter, you may find that the real treasure isn't what you kept. It's what you made room for. Lightness, freedom, and space for the days ahead. This isn't just cleaning, it's a quiet declaration. My life still matters, my space deserves meaning, and I deserve to feel free. The truth is simple, but powerful. The more we carry, the heavier life feels. But when we choose to let go of what no longer serves us, we create space for freedom, peace, and joy. Decluttering isn't about losing, it's about winning back clarity, energy, and the chance to live fully in the present. Every item you release is a gift to yourself, a quiet reminder that your life today matters more than the weight of yesterday. So here's the lesson to carry with you. Your home should not be a warehouse of forgotten things, but a sanctuary for living. Begin small, but begin today. One drawer, one corner, one shelf at a time. Make space for the life you deserve. In that space, you'll find not only order, but also calm, safety, and renewed strength for the years ahead. If this video has brought you value, let's take one more step. Subscribe to our channel right now so you won't miss the next video filled with wisdom and inspiration. And please, share this video with someone you love, because sometimes the smallest story can spark the greatest change. Thank you for watching until the very end. We wish you health, peace, and joy on every new day. And always remember, the best way to honor the past is to make space for the future.